As an English learner, have you ever felt like you're just barely making it? That's exactly what the idiom "by the skin of one's teeth" is all about. Let me tell you a funny story about a time someone misunderstood this idiom. My friend Lily was trying to impress her new boss by using some fancy English expressions. However, she mistakenly said, "I finished that big project by the skin of my tongue." Her boss was confused because the expression didn't make sense. It was an awkward moment. So, what does "by the skin of one's teeth" actually mean? It's an idiom that describes a situation where you've just barely succeeded or avoided failure, often after a great effort. Let me give you an example of how to use it correctly. After studying all night, I managed to pass the exam by the skin of my teeth. In this case, the idiom suggests I barely passed, but I did it. Now, let's look at some more examples of "by the skin of one's teeth" in different contexts. In a casual conversation, I made it to the party by the skin of my teeth after getting stuck in traffic. In a formal setting, the company narrowly avoided bankruptcy, surviving by the skin of its teeth. To help you remember the meaning, think of it like this. Imagine you're barely hanging on to the edge of a cliff, with just the skin of your teeth gripping the edge. That's the kind of close call the idiom is describing. Now, for some fun facts about "by the skin of one's teeth." The idiom originates from the Bible, specifically the book of Job, 19:20. Job, suffering immensely, says, "I am escaped with the skin of my teeth." This doesn't literally refer to a physical escape, but to barely surviving his ordeal. While the idiom's origins are in a dire situation, today, it's often used less seriously, describing situations where success was achieved by a very narrow margin. Here are a few similar and opposite idioms to compare. Similar, "by a hair's breadth," "by a whisker," "by the barest of margins." Opposite, "with room to spare," "with ease," "without a hitch." Notice how they all convey the idea of success or failure, just to different degrees. Let's try rephrasing the idiom. Original, "I passed the exam by the skin of my teeth." Without the idiom, "I passed the exam, but only just barely." You can see how the meaning changes slightly, but the core idea remains the same. Here's a real-life example of "by the skin of one's teeth" in action. My friend Alex was running late for her flight, but she managed to make it to the gate by the skin of her teeth. The plane was already boarding, but she sprinted through the terminal and got on just in time. Now, let's address some common mistakes and how to avoid them. Grammatical error: "I passed the exam by the skin of my tooth." It should be teeth, not tooth. Meaning confusion: some people think the idiom means "with great difficulty," but it's actually about barely succeeding. Let's test your understanding with a quick quiz. 1. What does the idiom "by the skin of one's teeth" mean? A. With great difficulty. B. Narrowly avoiding failure. C. Easily accomplishing a task. Answer B. 2. Which of these is a synonym for "by the skin of one's teeth"? A. With ease. B. By a hair's breadth. C. Without a hitch. Answer B. 3. Which of these is an antonym for "by the skin of one's teeth"? A. By a whisker. B. With room to spare. C. By the barest of margins. Answer B. In summary, "by the skin of one's teeth" is a common English idiom that describes a narrow escape or barely succeeding at a task. Understanding this idiom can help you communicate more effectively and avoid misunderstandings. Now it's your turn. Share a sentence using the idiom by the skin of one's teeth in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more English idiom lessons. Happy learning!